ونبدأ مستر بوب جيفنسون، وهو الحقيقة يعني هيكلمنا انه متخصص اولا كيماوي من مانشستر، ثم اخذ ماجستير في الملابس من مانشستر برضه، اشتغل مع شركات كورتيل بتاعة الخيوط والالياف الصناعية، وحاليا بيعمل كتكنيكال ماركتينج في الملابس والتكستايل عموما. Can you quote? Yeah, okay. You will have half an hour and I will have, for that 5 minutes I will tell you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd just like to talk about Tencel for cotton enhancement. Tencel is a cellulosic fibre that is made from pulp, and it's made from direct dissolution of pulp using amine oxide. It's a product that both Cortals and Lenzing were working on for many years by looking at the different dissolution chemistries of cellulose. And our process involves taking pulp, dissolving it direct in amine oxide, getting as high a solvent recovery as we can. We actually get 99.5% solvent recovery, and this makes it an environmentally very, very clean process. Because we are dissolving the cellulose directly, we get a very, very strong tenacity of the fibre of 36 to 40 centinewtons per tex, and we also get a very, very high wet strength of around 30 centinewtons per tex. I'd like to talk about using Tencel for cotton enhancement today. The idea of enhancing cotton is to improve the processing performance, consistency and quality of cotton, yarns and fabrics by blending Tencel with cotton. The idea is to reduce the overall raw material costs and to reduce yarn spinning costs by blending Tencel with cotton. To extend the range of yarns, either carded or combed, that can be produced from specific grades of cotton, and to enhance the aesthetic properties of cotton fabrics. We have a couple of samples of fabrics, one using 100% Tencel and another using a blend of Tencel with cotton, that we'd like people to feel after the presentation, if possible, just so that you can understand the aesthetic benefits. The limitations of cotton. Good quality cotton types are sometimes limited in terms of availability, depending on how the season is. Constant selection of raw material is important in order to maintain a consistent quality over the long term. Cotton has limitations in terms of handle and appearance, and cotton needs additional processing steps such as combing or mercerizing in order to obtain high quality fabrics, and cotton prices are extremely volatile. Just looking at carded versus combed cotton yarn comparisons, for thick places and neps, with the orange it is the carded result for thick places and neps, and the green is the combed. And as you're all aware, combed yarns are significantly lower in thick places and neps than carded yarns. And the same for the Uster CV percent, which is again orange and green for the combed. The Uster CV percent comes down significantly for combed versus carded, and the tenacity increases, as you can see. Now we're also looking here at some Tencel cotton blends compared to 100% carded cotton yarn in 60 English cotton count. We can see here with the orange, which is the 100%, it's 100% Pima cotton, not Egyptian cotton, but it's 100% Pima cotton. The green is a blend of 16% Tencel with 84% Pima cotton, and the darker green is a blend of 33% Tencel with 67% Pima cotton. The one on the far right is a blend of 35% Tencel with a medium staple cotton, and we can still see that the result is better than 100% Pima. And this is for the Uster CV percent. Then looking at thin place comparisons, it's a very similar picture. We also see that there is a reduction in thin place imperfections at the minus 30% level using the 16% blend or a 33% blend of Tencel with Pima. Also reductions when using Tencel in blend with a medium staple cotton. Thin places at the minus 40% level, it's the same picture. Again, an improvement. Looking at thick place imperfections at the plus 35% level, again, we're seeing fewer imperfections using the Tencel, and this is in 60s cotton count, all for carded. Also, using the Tencel in blend with the medium stable cotton, we're seeing lower thick place imperfections than we are doing for the 100% Pima. For thick places at the plus 50% level, it's a pretty similar picture, although the larger Tencel blend level gives lower imperfection results. For NEPs, again, using a 33% blend of Tencel is giving a significant reduction in the number of NEPs for the NEPs at 140% sensitivity. For the larger NEPs, the plus 200% NEPs, there's still a reduction with Tencel when blended with the Pima, but when blended with a medium stable cotton, the cotton is taking an influence, and these larger NEPs are higher. But compared to 100% Pima using the Tencel, they're still tending to be lower. And looking at tenacity here, we're seeing a slight reduction in tenacity with the Pima for these results in 60 NE. But as you'll see later, that when you blend Tencel with certain other cotton types, you can increase the tenacity of the yarn by blending. The CV of tenacity, we're seeing a reasonable picture between the Pima and the Tencel blends, although when blended with a medium staple cotton, we are seeing a higher variation in tenacity. Although we are seeing an increase in elongation again for the blends of Tencel with the cotton. We're actually seeing a very good elongation for a Tencel blend with a medium staple cotton. In terms of classy mat faults, for the orange is the 100% Pima, and the green is the Tencel blend. We can see again a significant reduction in the number of classy mat faults in the yarn. In terms of hairiness, we can see that blending with Tencel is reducing the hairiness compared to 100% Pima. Looking here, the Pima in orange is at 1,450 turns per metre. The green, which is the 16% blend, and the other slight blue-green shade, the 33% blend, are both at 1,250 turns per metre. So there is a 15% reduction in the twist, and we're seeing that we've got a very, very similar elongation. Again, we're also seeing a very similar hairiness at the lower twist for the Tencel cotton blends. And we're seeing a very similar tenacity for the Tencel at the lower twist. So what we're saying here is clearly that for the factors that are important for twist in terms of tenacity, elongation and hairiness, that you can produce yarns for cotton blended with Tencel at a lower twist and increase your ring frame productivity. This is just a slide showing some 100% combed cotton and blend yarns that have been commercially spun. These have been commercially spun by different customers, so it's not an exact comparison, but the yarn on the right was spun in Europe, and it was a 90%, 10% blend of Pima and Egyptian cotton, so it's 100% cotton. And the yarn on the left is a 60-40 blend of Tencel and Egyptian cotton that was spun in Asia, giving a very, very good yarn with high tenacity, very similar elongation to the 100% cotton, a lower as to CV percent, and generally lower imperfection levels. So, we were very, very pleased with the blending of the Tencel with the Egyptian cotton from this work. And this was the first time that that customer had actually processed Tencel in blend with cotton. And as a result of the very good results we've been seeing with the Egyptian cotton, we decided that we'd very much like to come to the EGTEX conference and find out more about the Egyptian cotton. The Egyptian cotton has got an extremely good reputation worldwide, and we're very keen on looking further at the use of the Tencel fibre in blend with Egyptian cotton for enhancing the properties of the products. We have been working with a customer in Asia who has been producing 80s Tencel carded long stable cotton, commercially spun now, for the last 3 or 4 years. It's resulted in a carded cotton being accepted for end users that had previously only been supplied by combed qualities. It's resulted in significantly less waste and a 10 to 15% improvement in ring spinning productivity. So we are not just claiming these based on small trials that have been carried out in a university or a fibre processing unit. These are commercially achieved results that we have obtained over a number of years. We have a customer in Asia that has been producing this carded cotton blend with Tencel for the last 4 years at least. It's resulted in an acceptable downstream performance at end users that are predominantly for a resin-printed end use, and it's significantly reduced overall raw material and spinning conversion costs. Looking at some Tencel cotton ring spun comparisons that we've done with another customer, another commercial trial. This was in 50s cotton count, spun quite recently. We can see here that this was more of a medium staple cotton rather than a long staple cotton. And we can see that the blending of the Tencel with the cotton increased the tenacity and increased the elongation. I don't have the full set of data from these trials at the moment, but we're compiling more information as we speak, because we're finding more and more people that are very interested in the concept of blending Tencel with cotton for enhancement. We've also carried out comparisons with using rotor spun in 16s cotton count, and the next slides will show the relationship of the tenacity versus the percentage of Tencel. So 0 is 100% cotton, 5 is a 95% cotton, 5% Tencel blend, and going to the far end, 40 is a 60-40 blend of cotton with Tencel. These are all again carded and in a coarse count, but you can see there are 2 different twist factors that we've used here, 670 turns per metre and 743 turns per metre. But there's a clear relationship showing an increase in the tenacity and also a clear increase in the elongation for these rotor spun yarns. In addition to this, the CV percent is coming down significantly. The thin place imperfections at the minus 30% are coming down also. The thin place imperfections at minus 50% are also coming down. Thick places plus 35% for the rotor spun yarn are also reducing. At the plus 50% they're reducing as well. Neps are reducing significantly. The larger neps for rotor spun, there's a marginal increase there, but no significant increase. The hairiness is increasing slightly for these blends. We're offering Tencel yarn types and counts for enhancement in 1.7 Decidex 32 and 38 mm and 1.3 and 1.4 Decidex 32 and 38 mm. We also make a microfiber 0.9 Decidex 34 mm for a very wide range of counts. We also produce Tencel LF and Micro LF for knit applications. And the yarn counts for where there's a potential for using Tencel for cotton enhancement are any count between 10s English and 100s English. But using the microfiber could even go beyond that. The main opportunities for cotton enhancement that we see are really vertical mills producing wovens, spinning mills supplying specific woven end uses involving resin treatments, prints or mercerizing, mills using long stable cottons in fine ring spun counts. That's where we really do see some strong benefits. Mills wishing to evaluate the potential of replacing some combed qualities with carded cotton Tencel blends. Mills wishing to explore any opportunities for extending the yarn count range possible using their current cotton mix. Mills wishing to improve yarn quality and strength in coarse count open end spun yarns using existing cotton types. And mills wishing to explore opportunities for using lower cotton grades whilst maintaining existing quality performance by blending with Tencel. And mills wishing to improve the consistency of their cotton product performance by blending with Tencel also. We see these as the areas where there's potential interest. We offer support for customers that wish to use Tencel for cotton enhancement. This includes detailed technical data and information for spinning, weaving, dyeing and finishing. We offer specific information on developments which are made to evaluate the best blend ratios, to prepare additional data about possible end users, to avoid difficulties when introducing the product, and to optimize processing in spinning. We also can offer fabric samples to demonstrate the appearance and characteristics of fabrics made out of cotton Tencel blends, and also information about fabric performance when using yarn from Tencel cotton blends. That's the information that we have to date. We have a number of customers that are starting to do work with Tencel using medium stable cotton and using longer stable cottons. And we're very keen to do more work using different varieties of the Egyptian cotton. Tencel has got a very, very well-recognized brand. It's a well-recognized cellulosic fiber in the world market. It's supplied to an extensive range of high added value product markets. And we have come to Egitex to discuss opportunities for blending Tencel with Egyptian cotton to enhance the performance of the cotton. Okay? If there are any questions, please, I'd be pleased to take them.
Thank you, Mr. Bob. We will have a few minutes for questions. تفضل. Dr. Sam.
Thank you very much. Mohammed Sultan, graduate of UMIS as well, and from Alexandria University. I would like to make comment about enhancing the quality of cotton. Why not enhancing the quality of Tencel? Because I'm sure that cotton is enhancing Tencel, but not Tencel enhancing cotton. I want to continue first the question. Then we should not be very proud of the high tenacity of yarn, because the final product is the most important. I wonder whether you have experienced the performance of the fabric against spilling and the drapability of the fabric and the fabric hand. Is cotton is enhancing fabric hand, or Tencel is enhancing fabric hand?
I would like my colleague to take a couple of shirts over to you and let you make that assessment now, if that's okay. Because we've brought here a couple of shirt products, one which is made out of 100% Tencel, and another is a Tencel cotton blend, and the handle of these fabrics is absolutely superb. I think that Tencel on its own is a very good fibre, and Egyptian cotton on its own is a very good fibre. But I thought also that when the two come together, that they also offer something that's very beneficial. Tencel for cotton enhancement is about improving the aesthetics of fabrics, and also about allowing carded cotton yarns to be used in areas where combed cotton yarns previously would have been used. So I think that there are great opportunities for Egyptian cotton on its own, for Tencel on its own, but also there's a good opportunity for Tencel in blend with cotton. So would you just like to feel those fabrics?
Yes, thank you.
Any more questions? Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The question I have is, you use this with Pima cotton.
We've used
That's
this
what you showed. Can you blend this with other cottons with no problem like you showed with Pima? And why you select Pima?
Okay. We have a customer in Asia that has been working with Pima for some time. We very much are interested in doing work also with Egyptian cotton. So the reason that we've used Pima in this presentation is because Pima is also a well-regarded cotton, the same way as Egyptian cotton. Egyptian cotton is world-renowned, and we fully accept that. But we have followed this from work that's been done with a customer that's been using Pima. And in our presentation, we also have shown some development that's been carried out by another customer in Asia with a 60-40 blend of Tencel with Egyptian cotton. Most of the work that we have carried out has been using Pima, but we are very, very keen to do work using Egyptian cotton. So this is one of the reasons that we have come to Egitex for this conference and for the trade show, to establish more contacts with the Egyptian cotton people, the merchants of Egyptian cotton, and all the people using Egyptian cotton. Because Egyptian cotton is world renowned as an extremely good fibre. But Tencel is also into very, very high added value areas. It's very well known throughout the world. And we like to see opportunities for blending Tencel with Egyptian cotton and Pima in particular, because in very fine counts we see that there are benefits. Using a lower twist in the very fine count yarns also allows the fabric softness to become softer, whilst still allowing a productivity gain from ring spinning. So I'm sure there are not many people that are spinning carded cottons at 80s English count in the world. I mean, maybe one or two, but most people spin in combed cotton to 40s or 50s and not usually beyond that. But with Tencel blends, we have people that are doing carded cottons in 80s, 80 English. So
I just noticed that when you showed the results for the 50 cotton
50s,
count, you showed the strength of the 100% cotton lower than the blend. Then the next slide was showing the elongation of the Pima, 100% Pima cotton is lower than the blend.
That's right.
There is something contradicting here.
The tenacity was slightly lower, but the elongation was slightly higher. I mean, these were from controlled trials that we carried out in our fibre processing unit, and we did see a slightly reduction in tenacity, a slight increase in elongation, and but when we did later in the 50 English cotton count, these were not using Pima or Egyptian cotton. They were using a cotton in South America. So,
how do you explain when you have different elongations, you have higher strength? When you have different elongations for Tencel and cotton, you get two breaks. You take two beaks.
yeah,
And the resultant strength should be less.
yeah.
And are you sure that the strength is higher?
We are sure the strength is higher in the blends with the medium stable cotton. With the Pima or with Egyptian, I think it still depends on the cotton type. There are many different types of Egyptian cotton. So whether you increase the tenacity in blend with Egyptian cotton would depend on the variety of cotton that is used. Certainly if you were doing a blend with a medium stable cotton, you would increase the tenacity. But I agree with Pima and with a very high grade like Giza 45, for example, you would not necessarily increase the tenacity. But with a lower grade, then you have the opportunity of increasing the tenacity.
Any more questions? I have just one thing to add, Mr. Bob. Can you correct me if I'm wrong? That this Tencel you are talking about is a cellulosic viscous origin which Lenzing has produced instead of using carbon disulfide.
That's right, yes, it is.
Locally. So this is actually a viscous fibers which we were producing in Egypt before, and the results are, if you go through, as Dr. Hab is saying, there is certain areas where you can use the properties you need, because it can't be used in all textiles, woven, knitting, and so. But you can choose what quality you are looking for. Is it the strength? Is it the elongation? Is it both of them? And maybe within Egypt and supposed to be outside, they are trying to mix the fibers which are cheaper than the cotton in this case. In this case, you reduce the price a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think the Tencel is well known as a viscose process we have been using for a long time ago. And it gives a certain properties because mixing fibers is a well-known industry which has a very good results.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions? Okay, thank you very much, Bob.
Okay, thank you.